So a year ago, you kind of described yourself as maybe a moderate,
Hmm.
and now you seem to have gravitated toward the right side politically. I'm not going to
That
get
is
into the,
so fun.
I'm not going to get into the politics quite yet,
Yeah.
but just the idea. It seems like when people are more right centered politically and they say their opinions, they get a lot of blowback.
Hmm.
Whereas people might call them names that you probably have some experience in. Now that you are a year and a half into this, how do you deal with some of the negative things that people say about you, whether it's personal, whether it's in your belief system? Do you find you have to get more of a thick skin? Do you find that just bounces off you? Did some of the stuff affect you? How do you deal with that kind of stuff?
So first and foremost, I would still totally describe myself as a moderate. But I honestly don't know that much of my views have changed. Perhaps my education around them has changed a little bit. So that might be there's just more dropping of the facts. But
Hmm.
having said that though, I think I'm very lucky that I had my past media experience that destroyed me mentally so much more than anything I deal with today. I don't know why that is. Maybe it's just because the topics that I'm covering can be so divisive. Politics is not a fun world to be in
Yeah.
much respect, but as a whole, the love and support out there is so great. And I think ultimately too, the one thing that really helps me stay grounded is that like I know in my heart of hearts that there is nothing about information that I'm sharing that has like maliciousness or malintent to it. I'm working things out, I'm going through
Hmm.
data, and I'm taking you along that journey with me. And I think things could bother me more if I was looking for approval perhaps, but with this journey of my life and this new career that I've stumbled upon, I wasn't looking for anything. I really did just have that moment where I was like, I'm going to start talking about these things because there's no women my age who are, and I know that there's others who feel like me, and I'm just going to start saying it. Let's go. And I
Hmm.
did. And I never expected it to turn into anything good or bad. I just kind of expected it to be nothing really, and then it turned into something really cool. And so I think maybe my motivation from the get-go was like very very genuine curiosity perhaps above, I'm out here, I'm trying to become the most watched person in the internet, which is impossible. But
Mr. Beast has that
yeah,
already.
I know.
So
I could never.
you kind of touched on it a little bit though about being a female voice. Do you feel like female voices are underrepresented in the conservative Canadian climate? We have a lot of them in the American climate. You
Mhm.
have people like Candace Owens. You have people like Brett Cooper. You have people that are very conservative on in the American side, but you don't see it as much for females in Canada. Do you feel like that was underrepresented?
100%. Yeah. I honestly think that's a big reason why I reached some of the highs that I did so quickly is because there really was a massive void there. Um and it's kind of interesting cuz like I don't even this is also maybe too why I just care so much. Like I just feel everything about my life is so stable right now in a way that I never experienced before. Like I used to always kind of be trying to chase something, and I'm just not
Hmm.
anymore. I just feel really comfortable and really stable. And before like being a female voice on the radio, that was like always something where like you'd be on the billboard and you're the hot girl on the billboard, and you get
Yeah.
met with a lot of that, and you get a lot of hate for being the dumb blonde on the show or like whatever it is. Um and that kind of stuff would eat away at me largely because I think mostly because I didn't feel like anybody really knew me, and so I felt really judged. Whereas nowadays I feel like people have such a good idea of who I am. And people still, of course, there's many layers to a person, but
Yeah.
like I've had a lot of really serious chats on camera. I've opened up about my life a lot, as I have on this show as
Yeah.
well in the past. And I'm really humbled by the struggles that I've had and what I've chosen to do with them. And I like 50+% of my audience on most platforms is women,
Hmm.
and, to me, that just signals ho excuse me, how much there is just such a desire from other women to hear that.
Yeah.
And they may not be the type who are gonna be, like, loudly in support of you, but they're there, I see them. I see them in all my analytics, you know?
Yeah.
And even when I do public speaking engagements, there's so many women who come up to me. Like, I've had women before who have, like, traveled distances just to come and hear me speak at something for a half an hour.
Wow.
And I would say like the biggest support I get is from other women.
Yeah.
The most respectful support I get is from other women. And I really do feel like there's this weird community bind to that. And I know that, when it comes to culture and politics, women's gripes are talked about so frequently, but I really do feel like there is just such a negative space in Canada when it comes to that.
Yeah.
And for me, at least, as far as I know, as I say this right now, I am the only female who is doing this independently. There's a few others out there, but they're backed by other organizations, other media
Or the
organizations.
previous politicians.
Yeah, like, whereas for me, I'm like, I'm literally the only one that I know of right now
Do
who is doing what I'm doing.
you find that strange?
Yeah. Yeah,
That
I
you're the
do.
only one?
It freaks me out sometimes when I think about it.
Yeah.
But I hope also that it helps others maybe do that as well.
So you say it's very important to you to kind of impact women in that way, that 50 percentile. Do you find that you're changing the opinions that women might hold, or do you think you're making it more comfortable for women to express things they don't think they should say, and you make them kind of be more at home in those opinions? Like, how do you feel you're impacting women in general?
I would say all of the above. One of the number one things that I do hear from people is that, and I actually don't like this. It's flattering and it's an honor, but I don't like this because I don't like the underlying meaning of it. But the number one thing I hear is like, "Thank you for being my voice. You say what I wish I could." And again, that's such a huge honor. Thank you for saying that. Like, that's really kind of you.
Yeah.
But I don't like the underlying meaning of it, which is that people still feel that even though we live in democracy, that you can't say what you think when it comes to politics. You can't be an active participant in our democratic process unless it's on this one side. And so that makes me feel kind of sick to my gut a little bit. But
It's unfortunate but true, or it's not correct. Like,
I would say like unfortunate but true.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for watching the Greg and Tim Show clips. If you want, click the subscribe button right in the middle here, and then there's an episode in front of me and an episode in front of Tim. Click on them. Keep on watching. Keep on watching and share with your friends. Thanks for watching the clip.
cheerio.